Hello, hello, hello to all my uniques out there. This is your favorite girl, Akudo. Welcome to your unique wisdom. For this week, we're going to talk about I am not a psychic. That's our topic. I am not a psychic. Are you? Are you a psychic? Who is a psychic? What do they do? What roles do they play in our relationship? To all my returning subscribers, hello and welcome back. To those of you that are not part of my family, you see the subscribe button, click on that button, wait for the notification bell, click on that one too so you'll be the first to see my video once they drop. Now, let's jump right into it.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful, wonderfully made by God. Welcome to the Big Show.
Most marriages are experiencing a lot of stress right now because of this idea of you are a psychic. You are a psychic. My sister, my brother, grab your seat, come closer to the table, let's talk. Your wife is not a psychic. Your husband is not a psychic. They are ordinary human beings that do not see the future. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what happened at your job. They cannot read meaning into what is going on in your life until you tell them. I don't think I have seen any psychic that can tell you the future except two that I know, the Holy Spirit and God Himself. If your wife is not the Holy Spirit and your wife is not God, then my brother, take a chill pill. My sister, take a chill pill and don't put that kind of pressure on your spouse. Okay? People love each other and people live together as husband and wife. But it comes at a point when we don't communicate with each other and we begin to put the pressure on the other, thinking the other should look at my face and read my feeling. I'm married to Nelson, okay? And then I think, oh, if I stay like this and don't talk, Nelson should figure out that I'm mad. Or Nelson should figure out that I had a bad day. How do you expect him to do that? You sit at a corner, you cross your leg, you're pouting. How do you expect your husband to figure out that something is wrong with you? Men are not built that way. A woman, maybe. A woman will not figure out what is wrong, but a woman will look at your face and notice that it's not as bright as it used to be. You are not smiling, you are not happy, and a woman will approach you and say, honey, what's wrong? How was your day? What's wrong? Most men will do that, but majority of the men don't because they are not wired that way. If you're quiet and you're sitting down there, maybe looking at TV like this, your husband might think, oh, she's having a quiet time. She's having a quiet time over there. He might not understand that you're angry or you're pouting or you're mad. He cannot just look at your face and predict, oh, guess what? Maybe she had a bad day. So please, if you didn't hear anything I'm saying tonight, I want you to hear this. Stop putting this pressure on your spouse like they are psychic, like they are the Holy Spirit, like they are Jesus, like they are God. They are neither the Holy Spirit, neither are they Jesus, neither are they God. Now let's define who is a psychic. Let me read the definition. All this I get from Google. The definition says a psychic is a person who claims to use extrasensory perception to identify information. A person that uses extrasensory perception to identify information hidden from the normal senses. They identify information with extrasensory perception of information that is hidden from the normal person, from the normal eyes. That means they can look at you and know what is going on with you, what happened at your job, what you're going through, only by looking at you. Okay? He says, particularly when it involves telepathy. Okay? They say it involves telepathy or clairvoyance or who performs acts that are apparently by natural laws. Excuse me. Your husband cannot use extrasensory perception to pull out information that are hidden from you. Neither can your wife do that. So now that we know this, that woman is not a psychic and that man is not a psychic, what is our solution? Our solution is communication, communication, and communication. My dear uniques, it is high time we begin to say what we mean and mean what we say. If you are angry, say you are angry. If you don't like something your spouse is doing, your partner, whoever, your lover, tell them, I don't like this. Stop doing this. Look at how this makes me feel. When you talk to me like this, it makes me feel like I'm a nobody. You talk down at me, you yell at me. I don't feel good when you do that. Stop doing that. Pouting about it, crying about it, not saying anything, and thinking he's going to automatically figure it out, it's not gonna happen. Screaming at her, intimidating her, and thinking that she's going to understand it, bro, it's not gonna happen. You have to talk. You have to communicate. You have to say how you feel. You have to say what you like and what you don't like for this relationship to stand the test of time. And I always tell you, my uniques, any communication, whether verbal or non-verbal, verbal are the ones you say with your mouth. Non-verbal are the ones you say with your facial expression, your body language, and your hand gestures. Those are the non-verbal. The way you roll your eyes, the way you talk to the hand, the way you walk away, the way you shrug your finger, your shoulder, the way you sigh. Those are all non-verbal. So whether you're doing a verbal or a non-verbal, make sure that your verbal communication goes through these 3 doors. I call them the 3 doors of communication. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Okay? Even though you're going to communicate, make sure you're telling your wife, your husband the truth. That thing you're about to say, is it the truth? And nothing but the truth. Is it kind? Don't say what you know if somebody says to you it's going to hurt your feeling. And finally, is it necessary? If you give her that information, is it going to hurt her or is it going to make her happy? Is it going to make her a better person or is it going to destroy her? Is it going to make her stand or is it going to pull her down? Is it going to inspire her or is it going to destroy her? If what you're about to say is not truthful, is not kind to her, and is not necessary, then my brother, keep your peace. My sister, if what you're about to tell that man is not true, is not kind, is not necessary, sis, keep your peace. So those are the 3 doors of communication I'm telling you. Those are the 3 unique doors of communication. Before you communicate verbally with your husband, your wife, your lover, your partner, is it kind? Is it the truth? And is it necessary? Now we have gotten that out of the way. Now let's talk about some of the criteria that you need to consider when you're trying to communicate with your spouse, knowing that she's not a psychic and you are not a psychic. The first criteria is you have to listen. Most of the time we don't listen to each other. We are so busy talking at each other that we are not listening. Nobody is hearing what the other person is saying. We have to listen. When you go approach your wife to say, honey, what's wrong? It looks like you're not happy. What's going on? Listen. Don't say it and then as she's telling you, you're watching the TV. Yeah, I understand you. That's not a big deal. Please, it is better you did not ask her than to ask her and not pay attention. Sister, likewise you. It's better you did not ask that man than to ask him and not pay attention to him. Please, the first criteria, listen. Listen. Remember, he's not a psychic. She's not a psychic. If you don't listen, you can't hear what she's saying and you cannot help her. That's number 1. Number 2, it must be clear. Make sure you say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't beat about the bush. If you don't like the green color, tell him you don't like green color. Don't say, I like green a little bit. It's just that I don't like too much green. I just like the lighter green. Sister, say what you mean and mean what you say. Brother, say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't beat about the bush. Make sure it's clear and it's concise. Make sure the first one you listen, second one is clear. The third one says it must be friendly. Don't talk to your spouse like they are your enemy. Don't talk to them like they are your child. She's not your child. She is your wife. He's not your son. He is your husband. You talk to them friendly. What's going on, sweetie? What is wrong? Since you came back from work, you've been pouting, you've not been smiling like you normally smile. Honey, what's wrong? Did anything happen at your job? Are you okay? And listen when he wants to talk. Don't overtalk him, because most of the problem we have as women, we ask a question, but before the man will come up with the answer, we have finished answering it for him. No, my sister, put a break on it. Let him talk. Remember, listen. Let him talk, listen. Anything you don't understand, tell him to clarify it so that he can make it clear to you. It must be friendly. The fourth one says you must show empathy. Don't gaslight her. When she tells you, I had a bad day today, one of my co-workers was so mean to me, don't tell her, you just a crybaby. What's the big deal? She didn't like what you said. That's not a big deal. Forget that. You're a grown woman. Stop all this. Please don't dismiss her. And when your husband comes to tell you, hey, guess what? That my friend, that my business partner, look at what he did I didn't like. Look at this, look at this. He messed up my business deal. And so you couldn't fight back? Are you not a man? And here you are here whining. Why are you whining like a baby? Why didn't you fight back? My sister, my brother, show some empathy. Put yourself in their position and say, what would I want somebody to tell me if I was in this position? And try as much as possible to tell that to your spouse. Number 5, say, have an open mind. Don't be close-minded. Have an open mind. When she's talking to you, listen, understand, show empathy. Anyone you don't understand, ask her to clarify and have an open mind. And when you're talking to your spouse and he's coming up with suggestions, don't be the woman that says no to everything or the man that says no to everything. Honey, maybe since this girl is always giving you stress at work, why don't you ask your supervisor to maybe move you? No, that is not going to work. Why don't you maybe take your work here? Oh, no, that's not going to work. Why don't you? Oh, no. Guess what? He's going to walk away. Guess what? She's going to walk away. Because every suggestion she's giving you, you don't want to hear it. You're closed-minded. Have an open mind. Listen to suggestions. Listen to ideas. Just listen. And come up with ideas. Even if it doesn't make any sense to you, tell her, yeah, honey, I think what you're saying, I'll think about it. I will see how it works out for me. I will try that. That will make your partner get more involved and come up with more solutions because he feels validated. He feels that you validated him. He feels like, okay, he's doing something for you. And at the same time, even though you're going to be open-minded to the suggestion, be open-minded to take correction. But honey, that is not the time to start correcting him, because that is another aspect of being open-minded. Some husbands, when their wives are telling them, look at what happened to me, that is the time she will say, well, it's your fault if you didn't do this, if you didn't do the other one. Or the husband is telling the wife something, look at what happened at my work today, and the wife is, well, I think that's your mistake because you laugh too much, because you always do this. My sister, my brother, that is not the time. He that is down needs fear no fall. He is already wounded. She is already wounded. She's pouting. She's crying. That is not the time to heap more on her or heap more on him. It is your fault. You caused this mess. If only you did this. If only you did that. Show empathy. This is not the time for it. And finally, be respectful. Make sure you respect his opinion, her opinion. Make sure you respect her story, her emotions, her feelings. Don't just dismiss her. Don't just say, oh, please, I've had this enough. This is all that was. That's one thing with women. You guys fight too much. You guys do too much. You guys do too much. That is not the time. You have to be respectful. You have to know that now that she's telling you, most women that vent or most men that vent to their spouse, they are not venting because they want you to fix it. That's one thing I want to correct. Most of the time we think she's telling you something because she wants you to go fix it. No, my brother. No, my sister. Sometimes we vent just for a way, an outlet to bring it out. Sometimes that's all we need and we feel better. Sometimes we just need a listening ear and a shoulder to lean on. That's all. We just want to hear, that's okay. Don't worry about those people. You'll do better. Tomorrow will be a better day. That's all we're looking for. Some days we want you to fix it. We want you to give us some suggestions. We want you to give us ideas. Those days, be willing to do that. But let us start keeping each other. Let us start holding each other accountable for our relationship. It takes two to tango. One person is not going to do it. It takes you and your spouse to work at this marriage, to make sure that this marriage is successful, to make sure that you guys are out there, you're cultivating, you're being fruitful, and you're multiplying. You're holding on to this marriage and doing the best you can. My sister, my brother, remember I said that before you communicate, whether verbally, whether non-verbally, the way you communicate is very important. Don't just assume that your spouse can sit where he is and predict what is going on with you. Don't just assume that your wife will look at your face and figure out how your whole day went, or look at your face and know what happened at your job. My brother, my sister, if we are going to have a solid family, we are going to start with communication. Communication has been defined as the mortar that holds a marriage together. Everything, communication is the foundation of the house, is the foundation of every relationship. If I'm not talking to you, you're not talking to me. We are not communicating. We are not telling each other if it's truthful, is it kind, is it necessary. We are not doing that. We are not following all these 6 criteria. Then what exactly are we doing? What exactly? Remember, the first criteria, you have to listen. You make sure it is clear. Then you make sure it is friendly. You show empathy to the person you love. You have an open mind. And finally, you are respectful. Respect each other and respect each other. Don't dismiss communication. Some of us, when our husband is saying something, we are not paying attention. We are looking at the TV. We are working with our children. We are doing everything. We don't pay attention. And with our husbands, we are watching the TV. We are watching football. We are doing something. You can say, honey, you know what? I'm watching the TV, football. I know men like ball, sports and stuff like that. I'm watching the ball right now. When I finish, can we talk? Make out time when you guys talk in your relationship, where you state how you feel, what you're feeling, what needs to be done in the relationship, what we need to do to rebuild the relationship, what we need to do to spice up the marriage, what we need to do and stand as a family. Because when the family wins, the whole country wins. When the family wins, the community wins, the society wins, and the world wins. Because the family is the foundation of the whole world. When we have a solid family, we'll have a solid community, we'll have a solid society, and at the end, we'll have a wonderful world. Remember to give us a thumbs up, share this video, and please remember to subscribe to the channel. Our target is 1,000 subscribers. We're still waiting for you. What are you waiting for? Click on the red button and be part of my family. I love you guys. Remember, you are beautifully and wonderfully made by God. That is why you are unique. You are not a psychic, my unique. We are just human beings trying to love and be loved. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.